Hey, what's up? It's Jude here. Just making my update video. Today is 19 weeks and 1 day on testosterone. So right about almost 5 months. So that's awesome. So let's see, what's new? Not a whole lot in the way of the testosterone changes. Pretty much just, just more hair everywhere. Like I noticed that like even like my pubic hair is different, like the texture of it. Am I just weird or does anybody else notice this? But it feels different. So I don't know. I noticed that today in the shower, but yeah. Um, but everything else, like I said, is it's pretty much the same. There hasn't been any significant changes in the last few weeks or so. Um, so, so we'll see. But I have new neighbors, and I'm really annoyed about that. Because like the house, like on one side of me, is just a single lady, and she's pretty much keeps to herself. Like I see her maybe like 5 times a year, and when I do see her, like she fills me in on the entire year because the lady likes to talk. Very nice lady, but she likes to talk for sure. And then the house next to me, when I first moved in there, was like an older gentleman. And like as soon as he retired, he started having a lot of health problems. He had a couple of strokes, and which is a bummer, like right after you retire. But he ended up, his kids put him in a home, and then he ended up eventually passing away. So his kids came over and did a couple things to the house and put it on the market. And it was on the market for, I don't know, probably like a good 6 months to maybe even a year before it sold. But when it did sell, it was just, again, just one guy, middle aged, kind of stuck to himself. I maybe talked to him in the whole time he lived here like 3 times, maybe. But yeah, now there's a family moving in next door, and I'm so annoyed by it. It's not, now I like kids. Don't get me wrong, love kids. I want to have a few of them myself. But they have a daughter that's probably like 6 or 7, I would say, and it's just a mom and a dad and a kid. And like when they were first, because someone had bought it and then they're renting it out. So when they first came to check out the house, I was out on the front porch, and the guy comes storming out of the house, and he has the little girl. She's wearing overalls, and he has her like carrying her like by the back of her overalls, like in midair, and she's crying and screaming, and the mom's like, "Don't hurt her, leave her alone, don't hurt her." And I was like, "What the f?" Like, I don't mean to judge anyone's life, but I don't know. I hope that they're not child abusers, because I will be the first one to call Child Protective Services on them. I guarantee that. Like, I promise. It's a promise. A pinky square. Pinky square. But yeah. So, and my dogs are annoyed as well. Because my dogs aren't used to anybody being at that house. And they're really like, they're protective. Like, when they see other people like near the fence or whatever, they bark and flip out. And my one dog, Emery, she doesn't bark at kids. She actually loves kids, but Scout she's only a year old, and she's still learning. So she barks at the little girl, and that's not cool. Because we pretty much taught like our dogs, especially Emery, to only bark out at the bad people. So like Emery won't bark at like babies or like young kids or older people going down the street, but she barks at like the creepy guy that rides around on the bicycle like at 2 in the morning, like through people's alleyways and yards because he's creepy, right? And she barks at like she barks at a lot of the teenagers, because the teenagers in my neighborhood, they're hardcore. They're a bunch of little punks. Like, and I don't mean to stereotype or group this one group of people together, but the kids that live in this neighborhood, they're bad. I mean, one of them stole a wallet off my car. When my girlfriend and I first got together, I had one of my tires slit in my driveway, and then like 3 days later or something, all 4 of her tires were slit. Like, what the hell? what am I going to do with all four tires slip? I don't have four spares. So yeah. So that sucked. But I mean, other than that, like, I haven't really had the house messed with too much. But these kids are always like throwing rocks and trash and breaking stuff and stealing shit and starting meth labs, and yeah, it's ridiculous. A bunch of young entrepreneurs. Um, so yeah. So my dogs are like barking constantly at these people, and it's so aggravating. Um, I just want them to go away. But yeah. So let's see what else. Oh, I just called my doctor because I'm all out of. Well, I have one. What's it called? One needle and one syringe left. And I have plenty of testosterone left. So I don't get it. I don't get why the pharmacy doesn't like hook you up with enough needles and syringes to do all the testosterone that they send you in the vial. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I called and she's like, well, normally we give it to you, but we're running low, and they won't let me call in my prescription early. So now I have to go on a needle and syringe hunt. And apparently I can go to Sam's Club, or like Costco, CVS, Walmart, any place like that. But it's just annoying that I have to do it in the first place. So yeah, I gotta go find needles and syringes and hope that I get the right kind. And I don't want to learn how to do a new kind, like, because I know they're weird. They come in all kinds of different ways, but yeah. So, no, my last shot, actually, like, I feel like my shots are getting more painful. Is that weird? Does that happen? Am I strange? Don't answer that. But, yeah, because I usually do it, like, on the top of my thigh, and, like, I alternate weeks, back and forth, left and right. And, this last time, like, it wouldn't even go in. Like, I was like, oh. So, I had to have my girlfriend do it in my butt. So she did it in my butt. So yeah, I guess I'll have to start doing some in my rear. Because the muscle, I think there's more muscle there now, and it's way more thick. And I think that's why it hurts more. I'm not for sure exactly. But it hurts. It gets more and more painful every time I do it. Every week I do it. So yeah. Let's see, what else? Still looking for a job. It sucks. Not having a job. I actually, like, I have my resume on Monster, and, like, I look at Craigslist jobs and, like, local ads and stuff around here. But, like, having your resume up on Monster is really good because you get a lot of calls. Not necessarily quality calls sometimes. But yeah, so, like, a lot of people that I applied for last time I was looking for a job, when I was applying as female, I never heard from a lot of those companies. Now, as I'm applying as male, I'm getting a lot more callbacks from the companies that I didn't hear from before, or that wanted nothing to do with me before. Which is kind of like bittersweet in a way. It's like, I guess it's like the male privilege thing that I'm not a fan of at all. But yeah, like car salesmen. Like, apparently women can't be car salesmen. I know a lot of women that could sell some shit out of anything. I mean, not to be cliche, but, they could sell ice to a fucking Eskimo. But, like, apparently only guys can be sleazy used car salesmen. And that's one phone call I did not return. So yeah, I'm really not being picky, but if I'm gonna work in a place, I'm gonna have to be able to tolerate it, because I've settled way too much in my life on jobs. So we'll see. The unemployment rate in Indiana is super high right now, and it really sucks, and I'm bored out of my mind. Like, absolutely bored out of my mind. All my friends work during the day, or they have shit to do, and I'm just hanging out all by myself. It gets really lonely. But yeah, that's all I got. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.